this is Al Crespo. This is my first video commentary of 2014, and it's about a project called Skyrise Miami. I'm sure some of you have already heard about Skyrise Miami, and I'm sure a lot more of you will probably recognize this image. This is Skyrise Miami. It's a 1,000-foot tower. It's going to have an observation deck. It's going to have restaurants. It's going to have a couple of super fast 50-story elevators. It's going to provide thrill rides like the ones you can take up at Universal Studios in Orlando. And it's all going to be built on 2 acres of city-owned waterfront property at Bayside next to the Miami Marina. Now, some folks are calling this Miami's Eiffel Tower. Some folks are calling it an upside-down bobby pin. I'm calling it a 21st century dildo that could end up screwing the taxpayers of Miami. Now, this is a project that's the dream of a developer in town named Jeffrey Berkowitz. And like all good developers, Mr. Berkowitz has been out and about glad-handing politicians and doing what he can to raise the money to fund this project. Back in November of 2013, in a front page story, where you probably saw this image for the first time, Mr. Berkowitz talked about this project and how great it was going to be and how wonderful it was going to be for the city of Miami and Miami-Dade County and tourism and, you know, all that good stuff. And in that article, there was this little paragraph. It's a proven concept, said Berkowitz, who is not seeking any public funding. These things are people magnets. I didn't undertake this without a great deal of research. I'm confident it will be profitable. If I build it, they will come. Well, Glorious said, boy, if we get a baseball stadium in downtown Miami, they will come. And 3 years later, not that many people have come. And in fact, all those retail stores on the first floor of them parking garages owned by the city of Miami are still empty. So it's not always true that if you build it, they will come. But to his credit, Mr. Berkowitz was out and about, and he was quoted again in February of this year, matter of fact, February the 12th of this year, in a nice story that was written about this project in Miami Today. And in that story, this is what was said. Mr. Berkowitz is turning to the federal EB-5 visa program to attract millions in foreign investment for more than half of the cost of the ambitious venture. Skyrise Miami may end up costing $430 million to build. Mr. Berkowitz is working to get $270 million from people wishing to take part in the Immigrant Investor Program. The rest of the money is coming from other investors, Mr. Berkowitz said, including a significant amount of his own money. Again, you can't argue with that. Man says he wants to build something and is willing to go in his own pocket to help finance it. That's a great thing. You know, that's the American way. We all stand up and cheer when we hear that. The only problem is that between the November 2013 article where he said there was going to be no public funding and the February 12th, 2014 story where he talks about going and trying to get money from foreigners to build this thing, on January the 29th of this year, Miami-Dade County Commissioner Bruno Barreiro, who has gained what some feel is an unsavory reputation for his willingness to do favors for these big-time developers, introduced a resolution before the Miami-Dade County Commission urging the Florida legislature to provide funding for Skyrise Miami. And this is the significant portion of this. Whereas the board, the county commission, would like to urge the Florida legislature to make a state funding investment in Skyrise Miami, and on January the 29th, 2014, this board identified seeking state funding for Skyrise Miami as one of the county's critical priorities for the 2014 session. A critical priority for Miami-Dade County. This is a county that's got really serious infrastructure problems. We got just bad problems with the water treatment system in this county. You know, it's going to cost well over $1 billion to not completely fix it, but just fix part of that problem. We've got to deal with the problems that everybody's going to start facing as a result of global warming. We have more immediate problems because it was just revealed by Elaine DeValley in her blog that the mayor cut the funding, or not the funding, but he cut the training for new police officers in half because there isn't enough funding. The mayor has repeatedly tried to shut down libraries in the county because he claims there isn't enough money to fund other projects. Yet, the Miami-Dade County Commission, led by Bruno Barreiro, believes that this project, a development deal by a private guy, is a critical priority for this county this year. That's why I say that this is a 21st century dildo that could end up screwing the taxpayers. On top of that, you got to appreciate this, that on February the 12th, when Miami Today wrote this story, they did not reveal that this resolution had been introduced and had been passed by the county commission. This information was revealed on a blog put out by a couple of guys, and the blog is called Ex-Miami. So that's another huge problem, that we have what passes for news media in this community either in bed with the developers or just who have just surrendered any journalistic integrity to protect the citizens and provide the watchdog responsibilities that people in America have come to expect from the news media. This is all bullshit. This is all really just bad news. And I'm going to stop right here because that's the first thing. This is the first issue related to this project that I think is something that you should consider. So I want you to consider this, and then because I don't want to make a long video, I'm going to stop here and I'm going to record a second video with the additional concerns that I have about this project. And they're equally important, but I want to break this up into pieces. So right below this video will be another video, and then there'll be documents underneath that. So get a cup of coffee and come back and watch the second video. Thank you.